As Sharon mentioned, my name's Melissa Smythe. I'm from the General Goods and Services category. My co-worker here is Matthew Rose, who's from ICT. The General Goods and Services and ICT are 2 out of the 6 buying categories within Queensland Government. The others are building and construction and maintenance, social services, medical services, and transport and infrastructure services. In the General Goods and Services category, the team establishes whole-of-government supply arrangements for goods and services. An example of these are temporary and contracted workers, professional services, which looks after your consultants and contractors, and also uniform and personal protective equipment. Whilst the team sets up the arrangements, it's actually the government agencies who buy from them. In the last 3 years, the General Goods and Services team has successfully increased its diversity with supply arrangements by increasing the number of social enterprise businesses by 100%, small and medium enterprises by 27%, local businesses by 30%, and Indigenous companies up by 67%. Whilst the GGS team is proud of this, that it has achieved this, as I mentioned earlier, it's actually the agencies who contract directly with you, the suppliers.
Thank you, Melissa. Good morning, everyone. My name is Matthew Rose. I work for the ICT category. My role is industry engagement. So I basically help ICT suppliers sell to the government. My area, actually, we also are responsible for whole of government ICT panels. We have 30 of these. They're based along the lines of hardware, software, telco, and services. And they tend to be larger, more because they're for whole of government and the next layer of government, they tend to be larger enterprise type arrangements. Microsoft probably is the largest example. We have Telstra, we have Oracle. We're also custodians of the ICT small and medium enterprise policy. That's for small business. If you're a Queensland-based SME, i.e. your postcode starts with a 4, you get certain incentives underneath that policy. And that's all to help contribute to the official target in place for Queensland small business, which stands at this year for 30%.
How our arrangements work, this is in the General Goods and Services category, is prior to going out to the market, the category team conducts an analysis to determine what type of arrangement they should be establishing. Whilst for many years we've been establishing standing offer arrangements, in some cases this is still appropriate. However, we are also establishing now preferred supplier panels, which are quicker and easier to respond to, hence reducing red tape for both suppliers and customers. It also provides flexibility during the panel term for the panel to be refreshed, i.e. add and remove suppliers during the panel term as necessary. Feedback from suppliers so far has been really positive because it is streamlining the process. Oh, sorry.
So ICT generally has standing offer arrangements. They are referred to as panels. A standing offer arrangement can be around a particular product or service and tends to have one technology. A panel tends to have a cluster of different suppliers providing goods and services. You can apply for these. As we're a whole of government, we have to go to market for all the departments to utilise them. So you can apply at inception when they go out to market. And obviously after the initial term we have a refresh policy. Because of the targets now for Queensland small business and for First Nations, we are trying to actually diversify our panels within those contractual time frames, so to give more opportunity for you to get onto the panels outside of a formal process.
If you're a building, construction and maintenance supplier, you should take the time to register with QBuild, as this will provide you with access to more opportunities. There are QBuild representatives here today, and actually they've got yellow stickers on them, so please go and introduce yourselves to them, as they can assist you with e-tender registration, registering for QBuild, and any pre-qualification that may increase your opportunities. Don't forget there's work outside the Queensland Government, being with local councils who advertise their tenders via council websites, Q-tenders, tender links and vendor panel. And there's also the federal government which advertises their opportunity on AusTender. Please note that some industries require suppliers to meet pre-qualifications criteria prior to tendering. This does include the pre-qualification system, which is under the building, construction and maintenance, Or for those interested in Department of Transport and Main Roads opportunities, suppliers need to be aware of the requirements under the Transport Infrastructure Project Delivery System. In General Goods and Services, we promote with the various industry bodies, for example, social traders, industry chambers of commerce, Supply Nation, and also the Indigenous Chamber of Commerce. All of our whole of government opportunities are listed on Q tenders and are also, prior to going out to the market, are detailed on the forward procurement pipeline.
So hopefully you've all seen the forward procurement pipeline. If you go to the Q Tenders homepage, there is a link in the middle of the page. It takes you to a lovely Power BI dashboard where you can do a search by all the 6 categories, by region, by agency, by spend. So I'm responsible for the ICT one. We do try and refresh them every 3 to 4 months. They tend to be more significant procurement as opposed to lower spend, but please keep in touch with it. It's a very easy tool to use, and it's being refined all the time. And also for Q Tenders as well, if you've not done so already, please register which categories you're interested in. There are tenders coming out from all categories all the time, so you need to get those notifications that they're coming. Now, the Queensland Contracts Directory is a vast repository which basically has all the whole of government and departmental panel arrangements across all the categories. So it's open, there's 2 access points for the public and also for buyers. So please have a look on that and see what arrangements are already in place, who the contact points are, when the expiry and the refresh dates are. It's also a useful tool for the buyers. So what we very much encourage centrally is for collaboration, for departments to use other departments' arrangements. We don't want to go to market for something new when there's something in place already. So it's a very useful tool and is actually a mandated requirement of the Queensland procurement policy that everything is up to date on that Queensland Contracts Directory. So Q Tenders tends to have a vast number of tenders going through it. There are some building construction maintenance tenders are there, and there's health, medical, transport. Now e-tenders tends to be more around the building construction maintenance. So there are 2 distinct websites you'd need to register for should it be appropriate for your particular capability.
Now, who to contact? This is the big question. For General Goods and Services matters, there's not one list that details all the contacts within Queensland Government. However, we couldn't do that because it would change pretty much on a daily basis. However, with ICT, there is actually a public available list of departmental vendor managers. These are essentially procurement people who can connect you with the relevant businesses area to address your inquiries. Once you're actually on an arrangement, make sure your website and social presence is up to date. You need to ensure that your capabilities on your website stand out and where possible include case studies. Keep in touch with also the category and contract managers and departmental buyers. Attend any arranged meet and greet sessions with agency buyers, as this provides you with the perfect opportunity to have a supplier's one-on-one access with government buyers. Consider also inviting your customers to your site to do a site inspection and just have that connection with your business as well. Lastly, be familiar with the procurement process. Remember that departments have their own and different procurement processes, which will affect how they approach the market and use our standing off arrangements and panels.
I've got one more to do.
Oh, you've got one more? Okay.
So just to reinforce that point, so in my role particularly, I get asked all the time, how do we sell to the government? I work in a procurement area. We don't actually buy the ICT. It's down to the agencies to do that. So it's very important to do your research on the agencies, know who's there in the organisation, what their strategies are, who are the key contact people. As Mel said, for the ICT category, there is a listing of vendor managers, so that's the designated contact within that department who you should approach for potential opportunities in the future. So it's very important. These guys are bombarded by industry trying to sell them things. That's great, but articulate your value proposition. I'm a big fan of the one-page capability statement outlining very clearly what you do, what government or local panels you're already on, whether it's within Queensland or interstate, and really articulate that so they can see very concisely exactly what it is where your skill set lies. So do that concisely. We're also interested in hearing around what you're doing around sustainability, innovation, what your connections are with social enterprises, First Nations suppliers. There are targets in place for all of these, so buyers are very much looking forward to having those sorts of conversations with you. So it's very important to do your research and approach them in a concise, succinct way.
Lastly, we encourage you to look at the Business Queensland website. Its address is on the screen now. This is where you'll find information regarding supplying to Queensland Government. In addition to this, please come and see myself and Matt and Deanne and Stephen and various other people next door. We've got the maroon colour, but building, construction and maintenance are actually wearing yellow, and there's various other people as well that you can talk to who are representing not just government but local government as well. I'd like to thank you for your time today, and I'd really hope the information that we've provided to you is helpful. But please come and talk to us if you need any other information.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.